Well, welcome to another edition of Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And I'm your host, Ayanna Smith. I help people, make and save money and help their professional lady and businesswoman to get her things together by looking at a view of building wealth through life insurance. And listen, I want to ask you, do you know if you are a business owner or a projected business owner, you need to listen to this special guest we have because she's going to tell us, that we need to look at our numbers and don't be scared of them. So, without further ado, make sure that you grab a pencil, a pen, a marker, a crayon, whatever you need to take some notes on your pad or your favorite electronic device, and we will be right back. And we are back. Okay. And like I said, I hope that gave you enough time to get all of the things you need to do to write down. Because if you are a potential business owner or a business owner, all of us need to hear this and don't be scared of the numbers because we say here on Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it. And our numbers surely do talk and tell a story as well, because that's just how it all works together. So we have a wonderful guest that we're going to bring to the stage from the virtual green room. She is all over the place, financial fancy. I mean, she is doing it big and doing it largely. Okay, and also secret. Give her a special shout out because this, it's her birth month. Or whenever you're listening to this, and even if you're listening to this 10 years from now, it's still her birthday. She's still celebrating. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to bring to the stage out of the virtual green room Miss Charese Chambers. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am great. Great to have you here this evening. So,
Good.
I always like to say, just come in your own way and share a little bit about who you are and all that good stuff. And then we'll just jump in and have a great conversation about the numbers.
We're gonna talk about them numbers. So we're gonna talk about them. Absolutely. My name is Charese Chambers. I'm the owner and founder of Financial Fancy. I'm a fractional CFO. So basically, I help entrepreneurs understand their numbers to get to their goals, right? And listen to me, I said goals. I didn't say six figures. I didn't say be your next millionaire. Now, if that's your goal, we can have that conversation. But sometimes it's the freedom, right? Very much like you talk about, having insurance to have the freedom to know that things are being taken care of after the fact, right? So I want people to know their numbers in such a way that they actually could kind of make money on demand, right? Once you actually, the secret sauce is actually, and this is the part they don't tell you, the secret sauce is actually knowing your numbers. But a lot of people have anxiety around that. They don't lean into it. And as someone who's a bookkeeper, they wait until February when taxes are about to be due to talk about the year past of all the money they spent. And I'm very concerned about that. And having too many entrepreneurs come to me like that. And I know that they're not pivoting. They're not, knowing what's going on. They can't make sound decisions in the moment. And a lot of times they're losing money. But again, we forgot what the goal was. How do you know if you're hitting your goals if you're not looking at your numbers? And it's not even just financial. You get to know, are you servicing as many people as you want to service, and so on and so forth. So the numbers are an array of not just financial, but even just how you engage on social media, on your marketing, and making sure that you're being accountable for the money you're spending when you're, running ad campaigns and things of that nature. So the cohesive picture of knowing your numbers.
Yeah, that's so important. It really is because when you're talking about that you will miss money, you will miss it. I mean, I've been, like to raise my hand on that. Like, wow, I could have gone back. And then when tax laws and different things change from year to year, something you thought you could have claimed then, you can't claim now. But some things that you couldn't claim then, you can claim now. But if you don't have it all just right there together, you're going to miss something because you can't remember everything. You remember the
Right.
bulk and you just have to take it and scrape the tears up and keep moving. But
Right.
but
Yep.
you
Absolutely.
can't keep everything. So let me ask you this: when you're talking about management and all that, and then I'll let you just go back into like looking at your numbers. Or if you're going to get into it, you stop me. A way to hold and good programs and things to be accountable for for each piece. If there's something you want to talk about now or a little later.
No, we can talk about that now. So, the first thing is this distinction between a POS system, which is a point of sales, and a lot of people get confused because I ask, what kind of bookkeeping system are you using? Oh, I have Square. I have PayPal. That is not that is a POS system. That's not a bookkeeping system because it's
Okay.
taking your money in, but it's not accounting for the money going out because that's coming out your business bank account, not out of the Square. Although you can spend money out of those accounts because now you can get a bank account through Square and
Mhm.
PayPal and things of that nature, right? But you should have a separate business bank account. Another system, let's connect them, right? You connect your POS system to your bookkeeping system. So you can use Wave, WAVE. It's free. And I know, because I know we all nickel and listen, I know we're all grassrooting it here, but the next step up would be QuickBooks, which is my
Mhm.
friend. I like
Mhm.
QuickBooks. We have
Yes.
FreshBooks. I mean, there's so many. Zero. It's XERO. So there's so many other bookkeeping systems that you can utilize, and that's going to take the transactions from your bank account and put it through the software. And now you have it all collectively in a space, and you're not giving a person like me your shoebox of receipts to do your taxes at the end of the year.
Right now, so when you're saying that, then that means that we have to have separate bank accounts.
Yes, yes. And you know what? And the main reason for that is two. One, you're not breaking the law. We need to talk about that because you are piercing the veil if your money is not in a separate account because you're commingling funds, right? So if you had an LLC, you no longer are protected by the LLC if you get sued. So that's a big part of why you need separate accounts. The other piece for me is it's hard to distinguish your numbers for a bookkeeper like me if I see you spending $112 to pay your electric bill, and then you're paying $100 to get business cards, you're paying your mortgage $800 on your mortgage, or probably I should say more than that, $800 on your mortgage, and then you're spending $100 going to Short Pump to buy Sassy Jones clothes. You know what I'm saying? So having it
Right.
all it makes it difficult to see what's going on, right? How much money you're spending for the business? How much money does it cost to sustain the business? And is the business actually doing what it needs to do by itself, and then adding on any goals you have? Because a lot of times everyone knows that the business needs to make enough money to sustain itself. But when you start adding these other puzzle pieces, like I want the business to make enough money to put me on payroll. Talking about increasing our
Service.
products and
Yes.
services. Or you want to hire an assistant, you want to hire an employee, you want to move into a brick and mortar from working at Hatch and working in a commercial kitchen, right? Though that's money. But if you got everything together, it's kind of hard to decipher what next move you can make with the business.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yes. You can, like I say, you can go through it, comb through it, been there, all, just it gets frustrating. It
Mhm,
becomes frustrating because you cannot tell the true picture. It,
mhm,
it is really like you're kind of riding blind in
mhm.
a big way. And you know that it takes money for no matter what we do, it takes money. But we
Right.
want to be able to separate that. So when you talk about don't be afraid of the numbers, come on, give it to us. Just give it out. Give it all to us.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so great example. I had a client, COVID was happening, and I was looking at their numbers each month, and I was like, man, the numbers really they decreased during the first quarter for retail because the holiday season's passed. So fourth quarter is always great. Numbers are excellent. First quarter we know is going to crash and burn. But I said something else is happening in the numbers that I just can't put my finger on it. And then COVID happened, and then we got shut down. And the other part is simultaneously, this client was pivoting to go online. So I think if you have a brick and mortar, you are only making money in the proximity of what people coming to your location. But being online, you can sell product everywhere. So we were adding a stream of income to the business. Not only was she able to keep her doors open, she didn't have to lay anybody off because she had this other stream of income coming in when she had to close her doors because she wasn't an essential space. You remember when we had to, we couldn't go anywhere when COVID was at the height of it all, right? Imagine if
Right.
your business didn't know your numbers, and you're just like, oh, I gotta close my doors. Oh, all these things, right? Or even as things come down the line, Virginia increased their minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
That hit a lot of small business owners very heavy because they're just barely making, ends meet already. So you
Right.
think if you already know in advance the law, now you know how to pivot and what the next expectation is. Maybe you need to do an organization rearrangement. Maybe you need to make a general manager also an assistant. Maybe you need to, and you can increase their pay because they're having more responsibilities. I always tell people we always talk about a customer avatar, but we also need to talk about an employee avatar. What does your employee look like? What are you asking them to do, and what is their compensation for that?
Right. Now that does hit a bottom line. Tony says, awesome. Tony Wilkins, she's chiming in this evening. Thank you for joining. And see some other people chiming in. So coming on lives and all that. So thank you so much for joining us. We are with Financial Fancy, Charese Chambers, who is talking about don't be afraid of the numbers. The numbers tell a story, and they really do. And I mean, it really, I think sometimes, and I may say this, and you probably will agree, it is such a mindset and an emotional thing on why we are afraid of the numbers. Because like we're coming out of a place on where we just function.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to have a business. We want to do all the things that are we think are necessary, but we're so much, like say the legalities of it and making sure that everything is flowing properly and things are constantly changing. We really do have to have that hard look at ourselves, and the big word in it is the discipline
Right.
to keep
The
it
other
together.
the other thing about the numbers though is sometimes you have more money than you actually know. Right. So example,
Mm,
when tax season comes, I do takeout. I do a food service. They come bring me food because it's just too much for me to make a grocery list, go get the
mhm,
groceries, bring them back to the house. I got to put them away. I got to cook them and wash dishes. We talk
mhm,
about time, right? When you quantify your time and you think how long it would take for someone to bring you food, like a meal prep service, right? I'm not
mhm.
talking about Uber Eats. That's a little expensive. That does get a little bit more expensive. A food
The
service
price,
brings
yeah.
you food, right? You're just warming it up. I don't have to wash dishes. I ain't got to think
Mhm.
about that's the other part. I do a lot of thinking about what I'm gonna eat. Okay, that's
Right.
a whole nother thought process, right? But sometimes, and the other thing is the mindset too. I remember telling someone that I did this, and they were like, "Oh, you bougie." Actually, I'm saving money. I'm saving at least
Absolutely.
about $75 not doing the things, right? So sometimes if we write it down, I always encourage people to write stuff down because it
Yes.
makes it plain. If you write it
Mhm.
down and you quantify it, you're like, you know what? Actually, I do make enough money to get a cleaning service coming here once a month to clean up. And now I can do 2, 3 tax returns, make about
Yeah.
$1,500. Somebody can clean my house for 200. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Absolutely. Sometimes it's like time against the money when you break it down. And then if it's going back into your business, couldn't you use some of those things as a write-off? So you're able to turn your money over in a flow. It's what it's what I'm hearing.
Right.
And it's making sense because it is time consuming. I do like to cook, for example, but you're correct. But me having to cook, go get the food, or sometimes I get, a pickup of groceries, but I still have to take the time to
Right.
make my list and all that and make it, and like you said, clean up and all of that. And right, and Janine, one of my great friends, is saying that's good, and I know she's the boss lady and all about this is right down her alley. All right, so what you're talking is really good, and it's down everybody's alley if you just tap in and share it out with people, because sometimes it is better to just pay for the services that we can, it's just services that we can pay to have done.
Right.
If
Right.
you don't, if your work is not your thing, that's not my thing. I'll pay somebody, and
Get
that
someone
in
else to do
turn,
it because it's gonna take me forever. I
yeah.
wash clothes, no lie. This is transparency. I wash clothes. What's today? Thursday. I wash these clothes on Monday. I just put them away today. I'm about to
I'm
pay
telling.
somebody to do a fold insert. Listen, I'm done with this.
I
Do
thought.
it already.
Let me tell you, just the other day, I was thinking, sometimes you're thinking about other entrepreneurial things that you can get into and do. That's pretty much like a running thing or invest with somebody. And I say, some things that won't go away would be a laundry service. The people's that's still real. We can't robot that to death, Rose. It's like that's still real. We still need
Right,
people to
right.
so yeah, that is something that's a service. Like you're right. I can wash the clothes too, but I'm like, okay, now I gotta fold the towels and all
Right,
that and then put them up.
right.
So if you're really moving like that and you really want to even and it can even create more time even for family, because some people have families and it can even create more time and that can still if you can tie it to legitimately to the production in your business, those things can be written off as business expenses, maybe on a miscellaneous. Am I right? I don't want
Right.
to say anything wrong, tax lady. Okay.
Yeah, but that's just so true. So true. If you've never read the book We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers, she really also gives it like a worksheet example of like, again, writing it down. Like if you want to, I always start my number for the year when I do my tax planning. Like how much money do I want to make, right? And then what do I need for to supply me to do the things that I need to do? Like we were just talking before we got on, my birthday's in August and I take the whole month of August off and I still make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like so you keep creating those systems for the consistent income that you need to running your business so that you can also have the leisure. I didn't become an entrepreneur to work 24/7. Now those early years I did. I had late nights and early mornings, but I think I've done put enough grit in it to be able to have some rewards. And now that I'm turning 40, I'm really having a thought process of my exit strategy. And I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of entrepreneurs are so eager about being in business that we also don't give a thought about like what should it look like for transition too, because I didn't become an entrepreneur to do this until I die. Like I want to sit down somewhere. That's the whole point. And if you're in business that's not making enough money for you to sit down somewhere, you got to know your numbers. We're
Yeah.
running ourselves in circles. Like you should be getting with you and putting money in our 401 and insurance plan and all those things, right? I have a progressive insurance plan where I can borrow from that insurance plan when I get old and if I need a nursing home or something like that. And those are things that we need to know. And then also,
Absolutely.
tax lady, it lowers your taxable liability because the government rewards people who think about their future.
They do. They do. And if you have now, I'm going to insert this shameless plug, but real. If you have a life insurance plan, which I do, help people through that, would have like the long-term care riders and things like that on it. That is considered an asset, yes, but you also get credits for having that because you actually get what'd you say a statement on what that money has made and because you have a buildable increasing life insurance policy, which is like the permanent life insurance policies, not your term, but your permanent life insurance policies. They give you credits for having that in place. So it's not a bad thing. It's not just about being able to borrow money from it, but it's also being able to get it down the road if as a part of your retirement plan as a career person, professional W-2, and as a 1099 or like self-employed. Either way, contracted, it is a way to help you and it will help you in the long run. So that's like the services we were talking about. Things you pay for will help you in the end because you can then claim them on your taxes as well.
Right. Also, knowing your numbers gives you a space to navigate your business in the way that you want to as well. And I think a lot of us sometimes when we're in business, we are I want to say smoke and mirrors, but I don't want entrepreneurs who work with me to look like they're doing well. I actually want you to be doing well. And that comes with knowing your numbers, knowing what's going on in your business, and being able to pivot when need to. So I always tell people, don't romanticize your business. Like, if something's not working, like if you're doing TikToks and you're not getting the conversion rate or the feedback you're looking for, maybe that's not a place you need to be. I don't think a lot of us we're like, oh, such and such does this way. Everything that works for one person doesn't work for everybody. And we really need to take a hard look at, what's happening in the back of the house of our businesses and really make more strategic moves. Just because someone's on Facebook and Instagram, you might need to be on Pinterest and TikTok. right? How does that translate to your customers, right? What are you offering? Where is your target audience at? And that comes with knowing your numbers. It always comes back to the numbers. The numbers don't lie, right?
Yeah.
Your feelings will have you be in your feelings about something, but your numbers, they always go be honest. 1 + 1 always go be 2 in English, Spanish, French, or German. Okay, listen.
Absolutely.
It's facts. Listen, uno plus uno is dos. Okay, that's 1 + 1 is 2. It don't matter. I don't know no French and I can't say it in German, but listen,
on.
Well, it's gonna be the same. And we need not to be scared of it because again, it gives you it empowers us to make the decisions. And also when you want to pivot, actually, I am only offering tax services to my regular bookkeeping clients because, baby, after COVID, the IRS and me, we not BFFs no more, and I'm sick of them. So I was just thinking, but again, that is my Super Bowl of my season. So I'm like, how do I replace this big bulk of money that I make and save for the rest of the year? I was like, all right, let's do some journals. So I have 3 journals on Amazon right now and moving into digital products. But then the other part is connecting my numbers, right? So I was talking on the podcast that I have called Business After Dark last Sunday about conversion rates. And a lot of people are like, I never even thought about that because we think about Black Friday's coming up. If you don't know your conversion rate, then you don't know how much money you need to spend to run ads. So easy math. Let's say that you make a post and you have 1,000 people look at the post, but only 50 of those people actually engage. That means your conversion rate is 5%. You're going to take the 50 and divide it by the 1,000 of people who actually viewed it. Now you can take that number and see how consistent it is with your post of how people engage in your stuff. And the thought process is if you pay for an ad, you pay let's say you pay $100. Now it's going to go from 1,000 people seeing your stuff organically to 2,000. And now you can actually say, you know what, 5% of those people are going to buy whatever I say because I know my conversion rate is 5%. Now you can make the tangible number back to that number, how much money you're going to make. And that's the part people be missing. And that's something that I do like as a fractional CFO. Like I needle the thread with all the numbers. Again, not just the money, but also with how many customers are in front of you. And then how do we expand that organic reach to a bigger reach to make sure we get to, if you do want to make 6 figures, if you do want to be the next millionaire, again, ultimately the goal doesn't have to be that. It might just be that you can quit your 9 to 5 and be able to replace the money you're making for your business so that you can just do your business. Again, your goal is whatever it is, but I'm here to help you reach those goals. And remember, also get with you, Miss Ayanna, to connect the dots with the long term as well, because I do run into a lot of entrepreneurs who don't have health care, don't have life insurance, and now they have no exit strategy. And that's when that time comes, again, since I'm in my 40s and a lot of us are getting older in age, these are conversations we should have been had because it takes a long time to catch up on your retirement plan if you're just getting started now. Thankfully, I started a retirement plan when I was 23. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm always going to find this person too. So that's how my mind just works. But I know a lot of my friends who, and
it is because what happens, you are the business. I often say this: when you shift, you are the business, where the W-2 gives you what they took out and what they're paying, what they're co-paying in benefits and all that. That number then doubles because you're not co-paying anymore with a company. You are co-paying now with yourself.
Right.
So in that, you do have to think about, wow, I don't have anybody matching any contributions. I have to figure out what is going to be the best place. And it is imperative that entrepreneurs that are self-supporting get life insurance that is going to help them. Disability insurance is a key ringer, because who is going to work if you cannot work?
Right.
That is the other part. You don't have sick days.
Right.
You don't have vacation days.
Yes.
And number that you see in that W-2 that we get so comfortable and that we've been lulled, I would say, lulled to sleep buy it, but then we say, "Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur," but it's
Mhm.
like, "Uh-oh, they did everything. Look, they did
Yes.
everything for us,
Mhm.
and now we are like, uh-oh, infants. Now we're in kindergarten,
Yep.
trying to
Yep.
learn
Yep.
at our age,
Absolutely.
actually, it's like
Absolutely.
that part. Absolutely, we're in kindergarten, and so therefore we have to trust somebody like you that's good at what you do, and hit us like you're coaching, but at the same time you're like hitting us in the face. Where when I analogize it to the church world, when you hear a good scripture, you're like, dog, they talking about me. It's like it's to help us,
Mhm.
but it has run over our foot.
Right. Yeah.
Both,
Yeah.
and so that's yeah. So that's
Yes.
that's the thing. We have to think of all about ourselves. So yeah, I am here to help, like along with what you do
Mhm.
to put those life insurance policies in place
Mhm.
and get them while you're healthy, because
Right.
you can get better, better rates and all that good stuff and qualify for
Right.
some of the better products and services. If you go ahead and jump on into it,
Right.
or if you have children, we can show you how to position that, even if you work it with through your children, work it it's different ways. But yeah, we try to strategize and help. And so what you're
That
doing,
part.
you're strategist in
Yes.
helping people put the puzzle pieces together. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So now you talked about, because I was going to ask you too, because I know you have products and services. You have journals and you have books on the way, and you have coaching services or different things. So kind of talk about the
Yeah.
things you do, because that is something that we have to think about too. Even if we are working a 9 to 5, it is hitting me and like I guess you say on my heels so much. You have to put out the intellectual property that you have, because of your expertise that people always seek us out for, are the
Right.
things that will make us continue with money, and we can
Right.
it can hit the button while we're sleeping. So
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So right now, I September 1st, because it's still my birthday. I don't work on my birthday, y'all. September 1st, TTC Academy will reopen. It is a 6-month program where I go over all of these strategies, right? Helping people needle the thread. Again, I know my expertise. I am no marketing manager, but what I can tell you is how much money you need to spend to make the kind of money you're looking for. Also,
mhm.
kind of giving you feedback um, around industries. So I work from wedding planners, service-based businesses, wedding planners, all the things. And we kind of go through like the wedding planner specifically that I was working with. She wasn't on Pinterest. And I was like, where's the first place people go to? Again, assessing where they need to be at. And I
Yeah.
like to
Or
simplify
do it.
things. So again, you don't need to feel like you need to go on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, threads, all the things, all the things that we're going through now. Let's find one lane and figure out what our consistencies are, what our conversion
Mhm.
rate is, and make money. I'm actually with a coach now. She's on the thought process of being social media optional, and I'm really intrigued by that because again, I am
Mm.
moving into my retirement era. Right, I'm 40. I do not want to be doing some of the things that I've been doing in my business and pivoting, but really that projections. I actually just recently helped a client get approved for a $1.2 million loan with a local bank here. So my brain thinks numbers. So helping people know what their bottom line needs to be, what their number needs to be to make the kind of money that they're looking for, and then also helping them put together loan package agreements. So that looks like maybe helping them complete their business plan and then putting their financials in their projections. So not only are you starting your business, I can tell you from your numbers how much money you should be making year 2 and 3. I have a calculator that does that for you.
Mhm.
And then also I'm taking speaking engagements. I have a couple more dates for this year, and I'm already getting booked for the first quarter of next year. I'm also do like workshops. So if you like have groups, I've talked to Mary Kay consultants and all kinds of people. We have a little small group and go through, figuring out everyone's numbers in the workshop. And then lastly, besides speaking engagements, I have 3 journals on Amazon. Scaling your business, a 30-day mindset journal, and then the other journal is of course I'd forget what it is. I should have wrote that down. But
That's okay.
they're
Look,
always on.
tell us what. Yeah, I'm going to say, tell us where to find it, and we will
Yeah,
see
you
your
can go
name and
Amazon,
everything
type
will
in
pop up.
Charese Chambers. They will pop up for you. If you buy more than 2, you get free shipping. And then, of course, we're getting ready for Black Friday. So I'm going to be doing a lot more workshops, helping clients. I'm working through like, what does that look like? I've never actually done a workshop before, but I want to, again, I'm posturing myself as the educator, and I want to just get this information. I just continue to see, I'm tired of seeing people on social media give people a 30-second blur about making six figures in 6 months, or they getting out their Maserati and then talking about like, let's be clear. When I started my business, I was working a perfect 9 to 5, matching my 401k, getting per diem. I never wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to do taxes 4 months out of the year and work my job. And I did that from 2006. I didn't start expanding my services until 2018. So that's a long gap. Like I legit was working a job and very content doing that. But I just realized there was just a gap of education amongst entrepreneurs, again, giving me the shoe boxes of receipts and then not knowing their numbers or not charging enough or being okay with taking a loss because they wanted a refund or being frustrated because they didn't know why they owed the government so much because they made a profit and they didn't plan for that, right? So all of those things. And then I'm looking first quarter to be releasing a book called Business After Dark. It's a play on for the podcast Business After Dark. Of all the things that I've learned over the last 17 years of being an entrepreneur. And some worksheets and things that I think would really help people. The journals really are mindset because that's really the thing. I don't think people really have a problem doing the business. I find most entrepreneurs know how to make money. That ain't no problem with us. We know how to make money, but we don't know the strategy or how it's coming to us or how to be consistent with it. And really, I want to have the thought process of like those mind bottle things. Like once I hit my 6 figures, my thought process like, oh, if I can do this, not even like the sky's the limit, but it kind of broke the ceiling for me because, you know, it wasn't even on my privy. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I got this.
Yeah. And so once you make your first 6, it's like, okay, the next 6 is like, okay. I mean, you know, because you built all the way up to that, like you said, to break that. Janine is really, look, Janine is in this tonight. I love it because
hey, twin Virgo. She August 31st. We love it.
Yes, you all along with my daddy. He's September 9th.
Those September Virgos are different though.
I tell you what, a package deal you are. How about that? but love, you know, but love the way you think and seriously, as I'm talking about Janine, but your mindset, just listening to you and knowing her, it's like, oh my goodness, you would be in the heaven together, like, oh my goodness, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Because you think, and you have to be a thinker in what we do. And sometimes it's on the cusp of, you have to be so intentional and you get frustrated with yourself and other people at the same time because you're like, gosh, there's so much more that we need to do. There's so much work that needs to be done. I love it that you have, you're spreading out with your workshops and speaking events. Yes, because that is so imperative. It's so important. So who do you say Mary Kay Consultants? So you do in person and Zoom, or how have you?
Both. Actually just spoke to a group of women in a conference in St. Louis. And then they're bringing me back in April for next year. They're going to New Orleans. Got a speaking engagement. So near or far, listen, if you pay the fee for me to get there, then I will come. But in person, I did a virtual for the Women Business Center here in Richmond about 2 weeks ago. For
nice.
So near or far, virtual, all the things. Yep.
That is excellent. Well, as we wrap up, is there anything else, any final nuggets you want to share, and of course, how people can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably the biggest nugget. So I actually release a grant sheet with over 100 grants once a month through my email list. So that's what you probably wants to do, is be on the email list. And I'm actually putting together someone who's actually going to show us how to fill out grants. That's the main thing. I'm not a grant writer, and I know it's a specialty. And although I'm not of the thought process that money needs to be thrown at things, but I do know that people ask for the things. But I also want you to come with the right expectations, because some of the grants, they don't consider that money free money. Particularly the Amazon grant. I was re-looking at some of the paperwork and trying to figure out giving the educational piece of it. I'm doing the heavy lifting for you. They actually give you a 1099. And you got to pay taxes on that. Imagine getting a grant for $20,000 and not realizing that you need to pay taxes on it.
And then the taxes about, like, you can just generalize at least a third of that.
Right. And that's the point, right? Because the other part is, I'm also not in the thought process of waiting to start my business for money either, because then that means that your business internally is probably not sustaining itself. So it's a lot of thought process I have when people's first inclination is like, I need a loan, I need money. Well, what does that actually look like? Have you proven your theory yet? So just a thought process. Great way to follow me. Website is financialfancycfo.com. If you go through the links, there's you could do a work with me, sign up for the email list. You can go to the resource library. There's a lot of free resources in there, like who should be on your team, how to figure out your numbers and other things like that, free of charge. Also, you can get the journals there if you want them right now. You don't want to wait for them to come through the mail through Amazon. You can get them digitally through the website as well. And yeah, just great stuff. More so the resource library. I have a lot of free stuff in there that you can download and get into.
And you said financialfancycfo.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I just wanted to make sure so we can, show the people.
Yes. Also, make sure you listen to the podcast. It comes out once a week called Business After Dark. It's my baby. And it's on, this is year 3. It was birthed out of COVID. COVID birthed a lot of things and thought processes out of me. And I absolutely love it. So also, if you're looking to advertise your business, I'm taking ads for Black Friday right now too. They're only $100 for a whole month. So you get show it. Not only will it stay there, but it'll be there for 4 weeks, but always stay there because the podcast exists forever and ever and ever. So you can always reuse. I'm of the thought process of repurposing content and not to do a lot of heavy lifting. Okay. Again, I told you I have a business coach who's showing me how to be social media optional, and I am on that train.
Yes, because the goal is in the email list and all that, and so that is. People still look at email even if they don't have social media every single day. Yeah. So I put this Business After Dark podcast, and then again, your website, financialfancycfo.com, so people can connect with you. And wow, you have a whole lot going on. And I was like, I have to get her to come and share some nuggets because you have something to say and people need to hear it.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy because I went to the Blackstreet conference on Monday, and I'm actually going to the Virginia Black Business Directory conference this weekend. So it's my birthday is a lot of professional development and reflection. I'm enjoying. Yeah, so I'm gonna give y'all all the information. Listen.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, that is in Fredericksburg, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it's their 4th one this year. Yeah.
Awesome. And you're speaking there, or
no? I'm just a member, so I'm just going, to attend.
Okay.
To shake hands and kiss babies, as I would say. So do some networking. I'm still new to the area. I only moved to Richmond a year and a half ago.
Okay, gotcha. Right, because you were down south, I think.
I was, in Lynchburg.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. Well, I am so excited that you were able to come by and share all of the great nuggets with you. We've had people on just chiming in and holding on, and so I want you to make sure that everybody watches the replay and share it with your friends that are looking to be business owners or are currently business owners. And just if you're not at all professional people, we are our own entity. No matter what, whether professional, W-2, or 1099, or just private contracting, we are our own entity, and we need to know how to position ourselves. Yes, awesome. See, I told you, your friend is in here. Great information. Thank you for sharing. And she said, "We'll do." And she's gonna share this. And trust me, you're gonna see some people. So I guess you all have become new friends. And when everybody comes your way, they can say that Janine sent us, so you and Janine can work out an affiliate deal together.
Yes, listen, I got affiliate deals too. Listen, yes.
Listen, we always thinking about positioning ourselves so that we can
Always.
expand and make another stream, right? Yeah.
That's
All
right.
right. Well, thank you so much. And I want you to have a great one. Okay, everybody, this was amazing. Oh my goodness, I know. Just make sure that you like, comment, and share and put it out to everybody. And make sure that you connect with me. I'm on all social medias at Ask Ayanna underscore Financial Pro on IG and on Ask for Ayanna on the Facebook page, business page. And if you're looking at the personal page, I am there also on Facebook. And we have YouTube. Subscribe, please, to my YouTube channel where you will be able to see a collection on the dashboard of every show that we have. It's positioned here. You know, sometimes it gets lost on that social media scroll, but on Facebook, on YouTube, you will be able to see all of the previous shows from Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and you might even see a few more things over there. You know, I might be singing just a tidbit, but anyway, make sure that you go to subscribe to my YouTube channel at the Ayanna Smith. So without further ado, we're going to bid you farewell. Have a great evening. And remember that money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it.